to create their own states, their own autonomous states and stuff like that. The North and the South, just talking about Yemen and that. Mali, the U.S. ambassador to Yemen, says the government is fighting an effective war against al-Qaeda militants, but he is concerned about security lapse during an attack on the U.S. embassy. He said he didn't believe that most Yemenis held anti-American sentiments, and I beg to differ with that. It says here they've been in turmoil since a revolt against former ruler Saleh, who Washington had long backed as someone to keep militants in check. The new leader of Yemen came to power after a power transfer accord in November brokered by Saudi Arabia and backed by the United States. So this is why I think that they don't like the United States. Why? Because besides providing with military training and material, as well as controversial drone strikes. So this is what I'm getting to. It played an active role in the military offensive earlier this year to remove militants from towns in the South Yemen that occupied during last year's uprising. So this is what it's all about. Yemeni president ready for talks with al-Qaeda. We're talking about secession here. He's offered to hold talks with al-Qaeda militants only if they give up their arms and renounce violence, capitulate, announce their repentance. This is interesting. He added mediators, I wonder who that is, the Saudi Arabia and U.S. pressured me to accept dialogue. And lastly, South Yemen wants secession referendum, says separatist leader from March. This is from March 2011. And what happened was this member, a senior member of the Southern Movement, ran South Yemen until 1990 when it negotiated unification with tribal, more conservative North. So they thought that they were going to get their secession referendum after Saleh fell, but it didn't happen, right? Because I got another puppet in there. So here we go. Unity agreement was based on sharing powers and resources, he said. The experiment has utterly failed. We were fooled. South Yemen is under occupation, and most of our resources are going to the north. Then to China and Asia, expert says China's special forces fighting spirit is stronger, but lack of combat experience. So on August 10th, two experts of the People's Liberation Army of the Military Sciences wrote an article in China's Youth Daily to describe the features of China's special forces and admitted that lack of combat experience, and experiments, that's what it is too, right, is a big disadvantage of Chinese Green Berets. So remember I was talking about how most of these corporations